The government is facing industrial action on two fronts after secondary teachers and principals rejected its pay offer. The Education Ministry offered 3 pay rises of 3% a year for most teachers and 2% a year for others, as well as increased allowances for extra duties. The vote follows yesterday's decision by members of the Primary Teachers Union to vote on strike action over their pay talks. Our Education Correspondent John Gerritsen was at the Post-Primary Teachers Association's conference in Wellington.
The Ministry's offer is worth 9.3% for teachers at the top of the pay scale, but less for those on lower steps. When it came to a vote, there was no contest.
The PPTA rejects the offer received from the Ministry of Education on 21 September 2018. All those in favour? Aye. Those against? Abstentions? That is carried. Recommendation 2.
Teachers at the conference told RNZ News the government's offer is inadequate. Lawrence Mickelson from Auckland says teachers feel the government made big promises when it was in opposition, but now it's in office, it's failing to deliver.
Teachers at my school were really angry about the offer that we got given a couple of weeks ago. They felt it was really insulting and possibly didn't live up to the promises that they had come to expect from the messaging from the government.
Kylie Hopapa from Auckland says the government needs to put a lot more on the table before teachers will support the offer.
We feel like we've been really patient and we feel like we have given a lot of time, and it's come to the point where we are losing our colleagues and we are seeing people burning out with workload, and I think it's really important that the government puts its money where its mouth is, basically.
Bill Claridge from Southland says the situation is desperate and teachers are ready to walk off the job if they have to.
Teachers are definitely prepared to strike. From the mood that I've heard, I mean, I'm the regional chair of Southland, and that's the mood that I'm hearing, that they are prepared to say, look, we might have to do this in order to make the point. They don't want to. You know, to them it's a burden. They say, we don't want to go on strike. Why do we have to do this? But if we have to, we will.
He says the government needs to pull out all the stops.
It's actually not so much about us wanting to say, oh, we want a pay rise, it's to say, hey, listen, it's gone by that. This is a desperate situation where you advertise a job for 3 months in Southland and you get no applicants. So something has to give. And it's one of those situations where the government has got to take measures outside of what they normally do.
Earlier in the day, the Education Minister, Chris Hipkins, told the conference the government could only do so much in its first year. He asked teachers to work with him.
I'm not asking you to bear with us as we address years of educational neglect and underfunding. You're bearing enough already. I'm not asking you to be patient either, because being patient has never brought about the change for those we both represent and we both stand for. I'm asking you to do something much, much harder than that. I'm asking you to work in partnership with us.
Later, Mr Hipkins said the government would reshape its offer, but there's little room for a higher pay increase.
We'll look at how we can reshape the offer, but the government does not have an unlimited supply of money, and no government does. The offer that we've got on the table with primary teachers at the moment is worth more than all of the settlements they reached under the national government put together. So, we are certainly stretching the envelope already.
Mr Hipkins says secondary teachers' claim for a 15% pay rise is more than what the government is willing to consider. PPTA members will vote next month on whether to strike or not. Mo te hotaka o te ahi, ko John Gerritsen tēnei.